Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 141 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Good. It's been a while since I could podcast with my brother. It's been a while since I said sorry. Okay.
Nailed it.
Back and better than ever, obviously. Hey, if this is the first time you're seeing us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week two brothers get together to discuss everything you need to know about in the world of video games. From the NES to the PS4, we've got you covered. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button. If this is the first time you're seeing us, though, make sure you hit the subscribe button somewhere around there. If you're only listening on audio services, seriously, go over to youtube.com/2playercoop. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, even if you never watch a video there. It helps us out a lot. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have merch. Do you remember how to do this?
Yep.
We both have some cool shirts on. However, I've got a new shirt coming for next week, and I cannot wait for you to see it because it's freaking awesome. But if you want some shirts that we sell, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. You should also subscribe at twitch.tv/2player_coop for whenever we decide to twitch from the twitching. Somebody's thinking about twitching.
I've been thinking about it.
You should twitch from RJ.
What
happened there?
In order to do it right, it's an investment. Like, if I'm going to do it, I need to
green screen,
get a TV like you've got, either just put it on my desk or mount it up by my computer.
But my question is, can
get
you
a
just
portable
do it
green
from,
screen?
But can you do it from your computer? Can you plug? Does your iMac have an HDMI in? I guess is what I'm saying.
No, but I've got a USB the same way you do.
No. I just mean so you could look at your iMac, play your Pi.
Oh,
or whatever.
I see what you're saying. No, I think I would need the extra. I think it's only HDMI out.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can also borrow that. I mean, we only need it for Let's Plays. It's not like I'm using it all the time.
That's true. But I would need a TV.
They sell the portable green screen things where they just pop up.
No, but they're they're not expensive.
They're like $90. Yeah.
But I could make one for probably $20. It's just a matter of doing it.
Well, then there's that.
And then I need an Elgato. There's a lot of stuff, but it's so tempting.
But again, you can borrow the Elgato.
That's true.
As long as you actually remember. Remember when we used to have, you'd be like, Brittany, because I got my microphone. Could you bring me my microphone? You need to take the arm with you.
You do have that. Okay.
I do have that. Venom Snake's arm.
Well, yeah, I was going to show you a picture.
So this is going to be a fun podcast because it's been over 2 weeks since we podcasted. Sean got back a couple days ago. We'll talk about that whole thing. But I miss talking to y'all. I miss talking to him. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We really have almost nothing to talk about is what I mean. But we're going to have a lot to talk about.
It's going to be a hoot.
A hoot?
A hootenanny. Short for a hootenanny.
Damn it.
There it is. This is from the Einstein Museum, and it reminded me of...
Me because of my brain.
Venom Snake.
Well, that's freaking weird. Yeah. So was that just for looks then, I guess? It had no function to it?
I can't imagine it had any kind of... I think you literally just lace it up like a shoe around your stump, and then it's just you have a hand that's just... I can't imagine it moved.
So, yeah. Sean, we haven't podcasted in 2 weeks because you have been around
this table,
the globe, around the multiverse.
I have.
How was it?
It was good. So I went to China, Birmingham, England.
That's not in Street Fighter.
Zurich,
neither
also not in Street Fighter.
Japan,
nowhere, Germany, and then Milan, Italy. And then a short stint in Newark, New Jersey that I'm not too happy about.
A very long, short stint. Newark, is that the worst airport? It's worse than Atlanta.
I didn't mind the airport. Well, security was awful. Made all the more worse by the fact that once I got through it, it was all for nothing because my flight was canceled.
That's how it was when I came back through Philly, though, too. I think just going through customs in the U.S., it's just horrible. Yeah.
But all in all, the trip was fun.
God.
It's funny because so work ended on Thursday, My boss flew home Friday. I decided to hang around for an extra day, and I flew home Saturday. In hindsight, it was a terrible idea with all the crap that happened.
But you never know.
But it's funny because Friday during the day, I was just soaking it in. I was having all these like deep, profound thoughts of
Remind
just,
me
like,
to tell you about my dream.
Okay. I was having all these like deep thoughts, Jack Handy. Like I have some like anxiety issues. And so I'm like, oh God, I'm in like this strange city. I'm like, I'm going to just buy a subway pass and just go for it.
You did that? Or did you sit in the hotel? Okay.
And
I would have
once I did it, it was fine.
Pi.
Like, it's not that bad. Like, once you have the subway map, it's like,
even though
granted, maybe the subways here are just laid out very well.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need to take this line. I go in there. There's signs saying that line is that way. And I just follow the signs. And I get on the train. And I end up right where I'm supposed to be. Like, everything worked well.
Were they in English?
English and Italian.
Okay.
And I was having like all these deep thoughts about like... And I was going to tweet it, and then I never did. But I was going to tweet something like, you owe it to yourself. I don't know what I was going to say. This is why I never tweeted it.
Or something?
It's just all these thoughts in my mind. But like, there's something to be said. There's something just so...
reinvigorating?
Yeah, to just get lost. Or like, I mean, because you're never really lost. You can't be lost in today's day and age with technology and whatnot. And I never really was lost. I took some wrong turns here and there, but it was just so cool just being in this strange city and just exploring just on my own, just whatever. And then not long after that, I was just ready to go home.
Right.
Like, I feel like I saw everything there is to see. I had an Airbnb. It was fine. It was hot, and there was no air conditioning.
A
lot of these places don't. It's so the way this particular Airbnb was. It's in the equivalent of I guess it was like a condo. Like it's a building with a bunch of other apartments, condos. I don't know if she owns it, whatever. But there's like a metal gate that you go into off the street. And that puts you into like this courtyard. And then off the courtyard, there's like building all around you. And there's like a next gate that you go through that puts you into like the building to where you can go up the stairs and there's all the different apartments, whatever.
Right.
My Airbnb hostess with the leastest.
That's not good.
I mean, she's fine. Didn't really bother to explain any of that to me. So I'm going to leave. This is the gate. I can't really show you people, but this is the gate from... Now I'm looking out. So I'm looking from the courtyard to the street. And I see this gate.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, this is very intimidating. I'm like, I don't know...
what to do.
And you can see there's like seating. Like this is right... There's like a restaurant right outside with like people sitting outside. And I'm like, I don't want to go and like try to open this and not be able to and have a bunch of people, because I'm just always in my head, have a bunch of people looking at me.
Hey,
like,
stupid
look
American.
At this idiot. He can't even get out of his own apartment. Right. So I'm like, oh God.
It's not my apartment.
I pull the old, like, just chill out by a wall.
Just talking on the phone.
Yeah, I'm just texting, whatever. And I wait for somebody. So eventually somebody comes out and they literally just go up to it and grab it, open it, and go. I'm like, oh, I guess it's pretty easy. It's not locked. But when I got up close to it, like, there's a legit looking lock. I mean, this thing looked like Fort Knox. Like, and I'm on the wrong, I mean, I guess I'm on the right side of it, but I'm on the side that should be easy to get out of, but I don't know how to get out of it. So I'm like, I'm just going to wait. There's enough traffic that eventually somebody will go out and I'll follow them.
And they're like, who's this weird American
Sure enough,
stalker?
this guy comes by and he literally just goes, whoop, just opens it and leaves. I'm like, oh, well, I guess that was a lot easier than I thought. So I went right behind him, I open it, and I leave.
And then?
So now it's there's this thing called aperitivo in Italy,
my.
which is basically like happy hour. I realize once I'm there, it's one and the same. But specifically about aperitivo, you basically buy a cocktail for anywhere from 10 to 12 euros. And once you buy one cocktail, you also with it get free like all you can eat buffet. Some places are just like
Tapas,
cheese and like cold cuts kind of thing. Some places are like pastas and pizzas and whatever. And the idea is you're just supposed to snack a little bit.
Fill up on wine.
It's like before dinner. Like they don't eat dinner till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. This is like 6 o'clock.
Did you have
my plan was just
there?
have that. That will be my dinner because I'm cheap. And on this day, I'm on my own money. I'm not on the company's money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to be cheap. So the place in Milan I'm staying, we're like in this district where all these like canals are. It's beautiful. And there's all these outdoor seating areas. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pop down at one. It'll be a little weird being by myself, but like, whatever. I'll sit down by myself. I'll have a drink. I'll eat. I'll just take in the scenery, whatever. So I go to this place and they're like, one? I said, yeah, just one. He said, only inside if one. And I'm like, that was real demoralizing because I took it personally. Because I'm like, I already feel weird about being by myself. And now this person's like, hey, you by yourself, we can't give you one of these good tables. You got to sit inside. And so I had my pride. And I'm like, oh, no thanks.
I'll pay for 2.
So I'm like, I'm going to keep walking. It's literally just endless. There's places everywhere. But a lot of them, because what I read online is a lot of places are just kind of food, and some places are legit food. And this was a legit food place.
That's why you must have 2.
But a lot of them don't really advertise. They're just like, buy a cocktail and you get a buffet. But who knows what the buffet is? So I'm being kind of picky, choosy. And then eventually I find myself, I'm like at the end. And I'm like, all these places are either packed, and I'm looking to see if there's any other weirdos like me that are by themselves. There weren't. Or the places were literally empty. And there's people outside being like, hey, happy hour, hey, come on, happy hour.
That's how Portugal was, yep.
And then I'm like, I could be that guy, but then that's almost even weirder if I'm A, by myself, and B, I'm the only person at this restaurant. So I'm like, I don't want to be that guy.
But none
I also
of these
don't want to
people
be
are ever going to see you
no,
again.
I know, but I'm too in my head about that.
I used to be like that, go and eat at Taco Bell by myself. But now I was like, whatever, I don't forget. I go wherever, I don't care.
So eventually I found a place that just has like pizza and stuff. It's just like takeaway. I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm by myself. I'll just do that. I have no shame about just sitting in my apartment.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. So they had like calzones. They look fantastic. I'm like, I'm just going to get a calzone. Literally right next door. Cannolis. I'm like, I'm going to grab a calzone. I'm going to grab a cannoli. And I'm going to go
Then we have a food
to
coma
the
and go to
apartment
sleep, yeah.
and just eat by myself and be fine with it. I do that.
Make a Mario level.
I go back to the apartment and I'm like, okay.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Now I'm on the other side of this gate. But I know before this gate just opened. It just opened. You just pulled it. Now I go up and I turn the handle and it's locked. And there's people all around me. And I'm like, okay, well, I have these other keys that she gave me, but she never told me what it was for. I put one key in, it goes, it doesn't really turn. I'm like, I only got one more key, so I put that one in, it turns, but nothing happens. And I just feel all these people are just looking at me. And so I'm just like, what do I do?
Policia!
I'm like, I just bail. I just walk away and I just go.
Please don't tell me you slept the night on a bench. Okay.
I just go and post up on like a railing by the canal. I'm like, I got a calzone. I'm like, I can just eat it here, whatever. So I like message her through Airbnb. I'm like,
what the hell do
I can't
do?
get in through the gate. I don't know if I'm missing something. I tried the key. It didn't work. And then she says, now granted, English is very much her second language. She writes back, I said, hello, I'm having trouble getting into the house. Oh, no, this is the old one. I said, I'm having trouble getting into the house. I may be doing something wrong. Never mind. I got it. I was not turned. This is just getting into the apartment, like the door into the apartment. I couldn't get it to unlock the first time.
Did
Eventually,
the
I
keys
got
turn
it.
the other way in
It's
Europe
like this
or something?
Weird. It was just a weird setup.
It's like Australia.
So later, now back live, I said, is there a trick for getting in through the gate outside? Tried the keys and they didn't seem to work. She said, try to open the other way round, put the arm in the gate. So I don't know if she meant
do
reach
this
through, but I'm
and
like,
open it from the inside. That looks like a burglar.
well, yeah, that looks terrible. I'm like, I'm not about to do that. And so I don't really know even what she's saying. So I'm just hanging out outside. I'm like, maybe I can pull this trick again where eventually somebody will come in and I can just watch what they do. And nobody came in. I was like, do I need to use a key? Like, I'm not ready. I'm not mentally prepared to make a second attempt at getting through this gate yet. So I asked her, I'm like, do I need to use the key? When I left, I just pulled it open from the inside. Like, there was nothing to turn, nothing to
That's
unlock,
why you
whatever.
do the arm, and then you grab
And she
the thing.
said, yes. And then she said, no, sorry. From inside, there is the button on the wall. I'm like, okay. So eventually somebody comes up and they put a key in and it opens. I'm like, okay, well, they used a key. Both of these keys fit in there.
You didn't just walk behind them?
One of them turned, one of them didn't. No, because I was far enough away so as to not be obvious. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, clearly the key is the key here. So eventually I finished my thing. I'm like, I'm not about to eat my cannoli out here, but I ate my calzone. I'm like, I want to just go back. I'm done with this. I want to be home. So I go up there, I try the key again. First one doesn't work. Second one goes in, it turns. I'm like, come on. Eventually I turned it. Maybe I turned it further. I turned it the other way and it opened. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, now I'm past that part. Now I'm at least in private. I'm not on the street anymore. So I'm like, well, I'll use the other key to open this gate into the apartment.
There's two gates?
There's two gates. One gets me into like the building courtyard. The other one gets me into the part of the building where I need to be. So I'm like, well, I'll try this other key. Well, that key didn't do anything. Apparently it's the same key. So I don't know what this other key does. But eventually I get in and I'm just like, I'm done. I'm not leaving my apartment. I'm going to stay in. I'm going to make some Mario levels. I'm going to eat my cannoli and go to bed. And then I'm just ready to be home. Next morning, I've got a cab waiting for me at 6:30 to take me to the airport. Now I'm trying to leave. Now I'm trying to get out of my building, not out of like the complex, out of my building, just into the courtyard.
Right.
And I'm on the right side of the gate, but both sides are wrong to me. I can't get out of the gate. And I'm like, she did say something about a button on the wall. I'm like, maybe there's a button that just unlocks it.
Yeah.
So there's a button right there. I push it and nothing happens. Then I realized, I think what I just did is rang the doorbell for the apartment that was right there. So then I panicked and I bailed and I just hung out by the bottom of the stairs. I'm like, I'm a few minutes early. I've got time. I'm going to pull the old phone trick and just, I'm just hanging out. I hear a door open above me. I'm like, thank God. I'm like, I'll just wait for this person. And then they get downstairs. And as soon as they walk past me, I'm like, okay, I'm done with my phone. Oh, hey, thanks. So he holds the door open for me.
Grazie.
And then I just followed close enough to him to where he held the door open for the other one. So I think what happened originally is when I saw the guy go through that gate,
the first or
he
the
probably
second?
hit a button and I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
And that unlocked it and that let him out.
He just
and maybe
hit the right
it stayed
button.
active
Yeah.
long enough to where that's why I was able to just go up and pull it open and I didn't have to hit the button myself. But after all that, I was just so ready to come home. And then I had all the travel issues that I had and got stuck in Newark. But all in all, it was a great trip, but I'm so glad to be home. And the moment I had of like, just like, this is great.
Serenity
this is
now.
So, yes.
Yeah.
It did not last long. And then I was just like, okay, I'm ready to be home now. But all in all, it was a good trip, but I'm very much happy to be home.
One thing that made me think of when you're talking about the whole Serenity Now thing, I remember Troy Baker, who's just one of the coolest dudes ever. He was telling this story about when he was on a date with his girlfriend, now his wife, mother of his child and everything. They went to Paris really early in their relationship. Mm-hmm. And they're sitting out like at a cafe or whatever, and he's got his phone down there, and they're talking and whatever, and this guy comes up, oh, do you need anything, blah, blah, blah. No, we're good. Okay, cool. And then all of a sudden he looks down and he's like, where's my phone? And then he looks over and this guy's running. And he said at that moment in time, he was like, I can either go chase this guy through the streets of Paris in front of my new girlfriend, or I can just basically be like, it's just a phone. I'm here with this woman that I love. Everything's fine. And so he's like, that's fine. And he's like, It's like the coolest move ever. Like, you know, like if you can't get any cooler than me, like,
it's just a phone.
Whatever. It's just a phone.
He needs it more than I do.
Give me another bottle of wine. That's just what it made me think of.
So you told me to remind you of something. Was that?
I had a dream.
Oh, the dream. That's right.
I had a dream I've been up since 4. Because I woke up, my teeth were hurting. I think my teeth were hurting because I was gritting so hard in my dream because for some reason, I had a dream that I was hunting Omar Gaddafi.
Momar?
Whatever his name is. I was hunting Gaddafi, and for some reason I had to go undercover at an AT&T conference. And even though I hadn't worked there in 9 years, I had to act like I was supposed to be there. And I had to give a speech on stage. So I was kind of doing like the Dwight thing and making up all this stuff about customer service and everything. Then when I finally found Gaddafi, I picked up like a rifle to shoot him. And the bullets were like, bing, bing. I was like, what the hell is this? And I ran over to my buddy Tim, who has a beard now, except in the dream, he had no beard. And all the face part where he had no hair was now hair. I don't know why. And I was like, what is happening? So I guess I woke up from that. I must have really been into it, but my teeth, every single tooth in my mouth hurt like hell. So that's how my day started.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I got one more funny, not really funny, but just story to tell before we start talking about video games. I had Taco Bell for dinner. And I went to... So we picked up Kira and we were heading home. Drive-thru was long. I'm like, I'll just run in and grab food.
I never go to the drive-thru at Taco Bell. Because they will screw up your order. Because, again, we've talked about this before, but everything I order is special.
Yeah.
I have to go. It's quicker to go in anyways and wait. Yeah. If there's more than one car in line at the drive-thru, it's quicker to go inside. Every time. Continue.
So I go inside. I order the food. And now I'm waiting for my order. This little old lady, this cute old lady.
With a marble rod.
I don't know if I just had the aura of a Taco Bell...
Connoisseur.
But she's ordered. She fills up her drink, whatever. She's getting her sauces. She comes up to me and she says, "Excuse me, what is this?" And she's holding up a Diablo packet. I'm like, "I think that's their hottest sauce." And she's like, "Oh," and she puts it back.
Oh, she didn't say I put that on everything?
No, she's just like, "Oh," and like put it back and didn't want anything to do with it. I'm like, "Oh, that was cute." Then we're both sitting there waiting for our food. And she's like, well, first of all, before any of this happened, I ordered and I was waiting for my food. And she comes in and she says, "Do you still have tostadas?"
Oh, man. Do they? Can you order them?
They do.
Really?
It's only on the dollar menu, and it's called a spicy tostada. So I don't know how it comes now, but you can probably just customize it and get it to how you want it. But
wow, that's good to know.
I'm like, I like her.
That's
I like
awesome.
her already.
Yeah.
And then she asked me about the sauce. And then she asked me, so when they say, I don't know why she started to talk like as if I worked there. She's like, so when they say they have free delivery, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I think it's through like a third party app. I think it's like Grubhub or like DoorDash or one of those things. And it's probably like a promotion where if you sign up, you probably get your first order free. And then after that, you have to pay for it or whatever. And she's like, oh, do you know how much it costs? And I'm like, no. I'm like, I assume it's kind of like Uber where it's like, it depends on how far you live. I'm like, if you live in Collierville, it's probably not more than like a few dollars, but I don't know. I've never done it.
Also, why are you asking me, lady?
That too. And she's like, I just can't keep up with all this technology. Everything's just always changing. And I'm like, I can't keep up with it either.
Just tell me she didn't ask you about Tinder, please.
No, that was more or less it. But she's like, I'm 75 years old. I can't keep up with all this technology. And I'm just like, yeah, I hear you. I'm like, I feel like I can't really either. And she's like, oh, but you're a young man. Of course you can keep up with it. I'm like, well, I should be able. It was just a great conversation. And shout out to the old lady at Taco Bell. I assume she's watching right now.
I'm sure because she loves technology.
But I just thought it was a very wholesome interaction at Taco Bell. Kind of made my night.
One thing that won't make my night, I forgot to look at my teeth. Do I have anything in my teeth?
Why are you holding the microphone?
Just in case I want to talk about
it. I think you're good.
Okay.
Do you usually check your teeth before we podcast?
I do, because what do we have for dinner? Oh, pizza. And I was like, I just feel like I got like seasonings or something in my teeth, and not that our fancy 4K camera
yeah, that would be embarrassing.
cut to Ron Howard. It's not. Well, I'm glad you're back.
I'm glad I'm back also.
Also, you came back, not really today.
I have one more thing. I mean, keep going.
Go ahead.
But remind me before we start talking video games. It's at least nerdy, but not video games.
We'll do it.
I wanted you to remind me yesterday to talk about Homecoming.
Oh, yeah. We did not see Spider-Man yet.
So I watched Homecoming on the Milan to
Minsk.
the Milan to Newark flight.
It's amazing.
It's better than I remembered.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't get to see all of it because I ran out of time. But, like, I watched up until the Homecoming dance part. So I missed
So you
kind
saw
of
the car scene? Did you get through that?
No, that's
Before the
right around
dance?
where I
Okay.
had to stop. But I saw when he gets there and he opens the door and he's like...
I remember watching that the first time and was like,
Yeah.
how did I not see this coming?
Well,
Homecoming.
but it's... it's just so good.
Yes.
It's
going to be tough for Far From Home to top it. But
I've heard it's better.
I've heard some people that say it's just like middle of the road, like
Really?
number like ranked 15, 16 out of the
I
MCU
think
movies.
coming off of
Endgame.
Endgame, and no spoilers, if Nick, I think he's
For
the only
crying
one
out
left that
loud.
hasn't seen it.
He's literally the only person now that Troy Baker saw it. Come on.
I think it's just going to be so, not just because of that, but it's going to be so much better because of that, and coming off of that and knowing that relation, like I just think it's going to be really good. But Homecoming. So this is before Spider-Verse. This is before Spider-Man PS4. I didn't know a lot of the intricacies. First of all, they name drop oh God, what's his name? Mac Gagnon or whatever, which I think
Ernie, help.
I'm
I have
sorry.
no idea what he's talking about.
Because it's a name from the PS4 game. I
Really?
want to say he's Scorpion.
Is that not Nacho is Scorpion in the movie?
Oh, well, because it's Nacho.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, there you go. But I think the name didn't mean anything to me at the time. There was a reference to Miles that just, whew.
Seriously?
Yeah. Do you remember Donald Glover in the movie?
Yeah. He said something about
Kind
a
of a bit
nephew or
part.
something.
When Peter Parker's talking to like his suit.
Yeah.
What does he name her? I can't remember.
Debbie or something like that.
And he's like, what do I
Karen!
do? Yes.
I think it's Karen, yeah.
And he's like, what do I do? Like, I have no leads, whatever. And she's like, well, why don't we roll back the footage from whatever? And he's like, what do you mean footage? And she's like, yeah, Tony implemented the nanny cam protocol or something like that. And so they roll it back to when he sees the deal going down.
At the gun, the gun deal? Not when he sees him by the car. Okay.
And he's like, okay. And she says, this is Aaron Davis, a local whatever criminal or whatever. I'm like,
Spider-Verse?
Uncle Aaron.
That's Uncle Aaron?
Uncle Aaron. And then when he's talking to him, he's like, you got to tell me who these guys are.
No way.
We got to get these like weapons off the street, whatever. And he basically says to him like, okay, I'll work with you. Like, I agree. I'm just trying to make ends meet, whatever. But yeah, we got to get these weapons off the street. I got a nephew around here. I don't want him like growing up in this. And I'm like, like totally. And I'm sure
I never knew that.
I'm one of the last ones.
We're a little bit late, but I never
watching that. I was just like, and I don't know if it's like just kind of an Easter egg,
like she's,
or if they're really going to try to build to like bring in Miles. But I just thought it was so cool. And I was like, it was just. I love everything about Marvel. It's so good. Like, it was so well done to where...
You don't love everything. You love Thor?
I love Ragnarok.
Before Ragnarok?
Have you seen Ragnarok?
No. Oh my God, is it still on Netflix?
I don't know. Probably not.
Spider-Verse is now.
Yeah.
The boys watched it like twice in the last 2 days. I'm like, it's perfect. It's literally Spider-Verse is one of the few movies that I would say is absolutely perfect. Like, when CinemaSins did it, I was like, you don't even need to make this movie. Like, I get it. There's whatever, but like, this movie is... when I think about that movie, it makes me tear up.
One thing the little I watched of it when the boys were watching it yesterday,
Yeah, that was the
because
second time.
eventually, what's his name? Is it Predator?
I think he's. Oh God,
It starts with a P. Is it
Prowler.
Prowler. When he like takes off his mask, Miles's mask, and then he like realizes like, oh crap, like whatever. In the beginning, when original Peter Parker dies, spoiler alert.
I mean, come on.
Prowler is chasing not Spider-Man, just literally
That's
Miles.
That's the one. Okay,
Like,
so
why
maybe
did
it's
he
not
not-
perfect. Maybe it's not.
When I was watching that back, I'm like,
perfect.
wait a minute, why does he not?
He never got.
I guess maybe
super
he never
close.
sees his
Yeah.
face. Maybe that's
He was
kind of
always
the-
chasing him from behind. I think that's the way I just rationalize it in my head. But again, the movie's perfect.
Yeah, but Homecoming. God, it's. I want to say it's top 5 Marvel. Maybe it's not.
Definitely top. It's to me.
To me, there's Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame.
But see, Avengers is not that high for me.
Really?
It's Endgame, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's 4. Mm-hmm. It would be tough for me to put in
Maybe
the top
Civil
5.
War after that.
Yeah,
But I haven't seen Ragnarok. I've seen like
Ragnarok's in
10
that 5 to 10 range.
I've seen 10 out of the 22 or 23, whatever it is now. Well, 23, I guess if you count Spidey. I've seen 10, and Far From Home might be right up there in the top 5 too.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to this.
I cannot believe I haven't had it spoiled yet.
I keep reading.
I
I'll
keep
see
seeing
tweets about
headlines
it,
of like this,
and I'm like reading it like one word at a time. I'm like, I got to know when to stop. And all of a sudden, they'll be saying like, "Oh, it's so great! I can't believe how good it was, and I love the way." And I'm like, "Nope." And I just like scroll past it. I'm like, I don't want anything.
all I
spoiled.
know is don't comment any spoilers. Hopefully, we're going to see it Wednesday night. So the day this,
I'm
goes
probably
live.
going to go Wednesday night because
Okay.
So maybe we can actually go with you. But
The only thing I know, it's not a spoiler, but I know it's not a spoiler because I don't know what happens. I just know that. Just remind me to tell you after we see it. I know something happens, but I don't know what that something is, if that makes any sense. Do you want me to say vague terms?
Sure.
All I know is somebody's in the movie that nobody saw coming.
Oh,
So I'm like,
okay.
but it's not, spoiler alert, it's not going to be Cap. It's,
Right.
It's not going to be any of the big people. So I'm thinking it's probably something that I might not even catch.
Like a post-credit scene or like in the actual movie?
It seems like in the movie. And the
Okay.
post-credits is bonkers, is what I've heard.
That's, yeah. Oh, God. I can't
Don't
wait.
spoil it. I can't. Oh, God, I cannot wait to see that movie. So hopefully Wednesday night it'll work out. I think it'll work out.
Yeah.
Oh, Max is spending the night. Man, the hell with the kids. I'll go by myself. So we are recording this. It's only 33 minutes so far. Happy National Video Games Day, America, and the
Hey.
world. Sean,
Yes.
what are you most thankful for in video games? Sorry to put you on the spot. That made a noise.
Oh.
I'm thankful for Hideo Kojima.
Of
I just
course
think
you are.
when I was like Power's Not Included, put up on Facebook and it's like comment in GIF form your favorite game of all time, and I did the Ocelot. Like I'm just
So, what I'm most thankful for? No, not most thankful for, but it's
I joke
the first thing
about
that
Kojima.
came to mind.
I'm probably most thankful for Nintendo, actually.
I'm very thankful for the current state of
Play.
like easily half of my favorite games over the last year or two have been quote unquote indies.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool.
Stay tuned here for a little bit.
And even like Bloodstained, which
It's an indie.
hardly, it's an indie, but like, is it like,
Yes.
did this really need to be crowdfunded?
Well,
Like,
that his whole thing was publishers don't think, big publishers, like he was basically calling out Konami, don't think we want these type of games anymore. I'm good. That was what his Kickstarter video was.
I guess that's
I'm going to
true.
prove them wrong.
Indie really just independent. I guess it's an
Like all the
indie
Metroidvanias,
game.
if you think of them, like The Messenger, Chasm, Guacamelee, there's no like Capcom, Konami, Sony, nobody's putting out 2D Metroidvanias anymore. Period.
And yet all of these games have been fantastic. Like, how many of these do we need before somebody catches on and be like, wow, I guess that's what people want. Like,
That's another thing I've been playing.
but that's what I'm thankful for.
But yeah, it's the best time to be like growing up in the 90s. I still say was probably the best. I don't know that it was the best time because everything was on cartridge
Well,
or
what did we
disc.
say was the best year in video gaming? Did we say 98?
2017. 98 was second.
Wow.
Breath of the Wild, The Switch, Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, on and on and on and on. It took number 1.
Dang. Okay.
Dang.
I have more stuff. I keep all these things keep popping in my head.
So one thing I did. Well, do you got anything else?
Not about what?
Not gonna do a bubble. I don't know. You said all these things are popping in your head. Just go.
Just other non-video game thing. I had a lot of time on planes on this trip. I watched a lot of movies. I watched Lego Movie 2.
Is that any good?
It's good. It's not as good as the first one. But
Did you ever see Lego Batman? I forget. Okay.
It's not as good as the first one, but it's
There's
still,
no way it could be.
Right. It's still very good. It's still better. Before I saw Lego Movie 1, Lego Movie 2 is better than I thought Lego Movie 1 would have been.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
No, it does.
I also saw, just because I came across it, I'm like, okay. I watched Fighting With My Family.
It's supposed to be pretty decent.
It was really good. It was kind of weird.
Was Rock in it for like 30 seconds?
He was actually a decent, well, all things considered, he's probably only on screen for
Did he play
3 to
himself
5
in that?
minutes.
I
Yeah,
forget. Okay.
He is The Rock.
Yeah, okay.
It was really good. I don't know how much of a true story it is. I know it's more or less true.
It's based, I would say it's more based on a true story, but it's been so long since it came out that I can't remember everything I read about it.
But it was cool, like in post-credit scene, they show a lot of...
that was easier than catching the pen.
They show a lot of, like
NXT stuff?
No, like actual like home movies of like her
cool.
family and stuff, and you get to see like...
Oh, I feel so bad for Paige.
The casting was like perfect. Like they nailed it. The weird thing...
Was Vince good? Vince Vaughn?
He was really good.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he's like a real... I can't even think of what his name is in the movie. But I don't know if
he played somebody real in WWE. I don't remember.
Okay, I don't know if he was playing somebody real or if
Yeah.
he was just like, well, we need somebody to fill this role. Let's
No,
get
he
Vince
was playing
Vaughn.
somebody real.
Okay. But no, it was really good. I actually got kind of emotional at the end, which I wasn't expecting to, and it was weird seeing Zelina
Vega.
Oh,
she plays
AJ.
AJ,
Which
that's
I'm like, no, that's
Like-
Zelina Vega. Like
Right.
I can't.
Can you cast some other skinny white girl with black hair?
Right.
Like, yeah.
But it was really good. And then also I finally saw Greatest Showman.
Thank you. Fine. I could have sworn you and Brittany watched this when
she
Jess
saw
was
it.
obsessed with it.
She saw
okay.
it when she went to the Philippines last year. She saw it on one of her flights.
Look at this.
I also got very...
My kids are swimming. They're being
I realized that I knew a lot more music from that than I realized. Like I knew The Greatest Show.
You knew
it plays
the
here
song
all the time.
but the song
I
that
knew
Pink,
This Is Me. I knew
Million Dreams, which
Pink.
Pink did with her daughter, which is so freaking cute.
And I knew what's the other one? There's some song that Dad played. There's some girl on YouTube, like a little girl who's got like this amazing voice, and she sang with her dad some song from it. I can't think of what song it is. It's the song that he sings kind of early on with Michelle Williams. They start singing it when they're kids, and then they like get older and they're still singing it. It's that song. But anyways, I'm like, I know a lot of these songs, and I didn't realize
it was the second song in the movie. Now I can't think of the name.
Yeah, it may have been.
Yeah.
I got really emotional during, and I know it's meant to be emotional, but during This Is Me, like
It's an
it's
awesome.
just so
It's
like
so deep, and like
like,
there's so many people that can
powerful
relate
and-
to it, no matter like race, religion, whatever your like disabilities, everything. Like that song is so good. That's why, like when they did that, did you see when they did it at the Oscars last year? It was oh my god, it was so freaking good. That song is awesome.
The part when
Why does New York come out at me every once in a while?
the part when it's towards the end of the song, and in the movie you see, I don't remember his name, but Zac Efron's character looking down, and Zendaya's, I can't remember anybody's name, but Zendaya looks up at him. He's looking down, and it gets to the part where she's like, this is me.
And
she's
she's
like, looks so like fierce and like looks right.
Well, because
up
it was
at
after the whole thing with his
he like
parents
let
and all
go of her
that.
hand. Yeah, whatever. I was like, oh god, that's so good.
I'm getting. Why the hell is this happening?
Also, I love, and I never thought I would. I love Zendaya. I was like kind of low on her. I'm just like, oh, Disney Channel, just whatever.
That's,
but like
go back and listen to our old podcast. That's
she couldn't
exactly
be
how
more
I was.
between Homecoming and this movie. I forgot how like just kind of like just whatever. You know,
In
she is in Homecoming.
Yeah.
I thought she was
until
more,
that last line.
Yeah, exactly. But oh god, she's great. But
Greatest Showman's fantastic.
it was wonderful. It was. I knew I would love it, and it was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
By the way, segue. I did see one movie. I didn't get to see Spider-Man, but I did see Toy Story 4. And speaking of things, I don't know that you said this, but a while ago you did, that were better than I expected. Toy Story 4. I shouldn't have. I should have known it can't be less than like a 9.5 out of 10 at this point.
Because you can't screw up.
Toy Story 1 is probably the quote unquote worst out of all four. It's still like a 9 out of 10.
I was talking to Brittany about this. Toy Story 1 may be my favorite. I think I may put 2 as my least favorite.
1 and 2 are interchangeable. 3 by far to me is still my favorite because of everything with Andy growing up and just where I was when that movie came out in 2010 where Noah was 2. We had just had Nick. I think it was 2010.
No.
Maybe it's
3?
2013.
I would give you 13.
It
But I
came
don't
out a
know if
long
it's
time
that
ago.
long ago.
But it was like Noah was sentient at that point is what I remember. And he loved that movie. And then I see Andy's freaking going to college. And
Yeah.
this movie was so good. Forky, that little stupid friggin' fork. Oh my God. It was so, the whole time I had to look up who it was
I just know
after.
he keeps saying, I'm trash.
I'm trash. It's, but you won't until you see, you have to see the movie. Until you see it, it's not as funny until you actually see the movie. But like the whole time I thought it was Josh Gad. It was not. It's some guy I've never heard of. Tyler Durden. I don't know what his name was. But it was something like that. But like the movie was so.
I'm going to look it up now.
Also, oh my God, like to think back to Toy Story 1 when it came out was groundbreaking.
Yes.
In terms of CGI, CG, whatever you want to call it. Toy Story 2 took it another level. Toy Story 3 came out, 10 years later, whatever it was. And then now there's scenes in this where the rain is falling and stuff. And I'm like, how? Like I know
Tony Hale.
You don't know who the hell that is?
No, I do. He was in, he's one of those like character. He was in, not that I ever watched it, but he was in, he's in Veep, which I never watched.
It's supposed to be hilarious.
He was in, what's the show? Arrested Development. He was in, he's been in a bunch of stuff, but.
All I know is when you go see it, think Josh Gad, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's
Oh,
Olaf.
I can hear.
Oh my God. And then there was another trailer for Frozen 2 was the second trailer, which I hadn't seen yet. So I saw it on the big screen. I was tearing up watching that. I'm like, Eliza's 2 now. Like I can finally get her to like Frozen and like, and she's got her Elsa dress. I can't even.
Holy crap. You're right. Toy Story 3 is 2010.
Thank you. I knew I wasn't crazy.
I didn't think it had been that long.
I remember so Jess and I did not see that in theaters, probably because Nick was like a baby when it came out and we just couldn't get away. But like the first time we watched that, I can remember watching it in our living room. And when it got to those last, it was bad enough, the whole incinerator thing. That was bad enough. I was like, okay,
but then
they
like
lived.
the last scene.
The last 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, I was literally, I'm crying now. Like I was bawling, like, like wiping snot away crying. It was so emotional. And I remember there was a couple years ago, I texted Nick and I was like, I want to write an article for Nerd 901 about Toy Story 3. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And then I just never followed through. But it's like, this didn't have that gut punch. This was very emotional.
Yeah.
I cried 7-8 times. I don't even know. Like I lost count. Like the whole time. And Mom was like, you want a Kleenex? No,
just knock it off, Mom.
Watch the movie. But like it was so emotional. It was so, oh God, it was so good. You've got to see it. I think I tweeted out, I think my ranking is it's this good. 3, 4, 2, 1. Yeah. Again, they're all at least a 9 out of 10. Like you can't go wrong with any of them, but it's like, it was so much better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And now we got Lion King in a couple weeks and I'm going to die. God. Oh no. What day is it? Yeah. Next week. I'm going to die. I can't. It's going to break me.
Yeah.
But yeah, go see Toy Story 4 if you haven't already. I know I'm late to the party. Keanu is in it because he's just taking over the world and he's freaking awesome. Yes, we Canada. So
video games.
44 minutes in.
We'll time stamp it.
We got all the time.
You can
stamps.
skip all the.
The only thing I will say before we get into everything else, I flew up to Chicago a couple weekends ago when Sean started his trip. Well, actually, it was right before you started your trip to go see friends Jordan and Daniel. Had a blast. Got to go to Wrigley finally. I was just like walking into Wrigley like my face was going to break. I was so happy.
homerness out of it, how does it compare to Yankee Stadium? No, wait. Did you go? You went to the old Yankee Stadium.
I haven't been to the new one.
Oh, you haven't been to the new one.
I haven't been to the new one. I've been to the old one twice. Never went to the new one.
Compare.
It's so...
If you can separate yourself from the Yankees and your fandom.
It's right there.
Really?
Like, it's so compact, and like the energy and everything. So they've done a whole bunch of construction around the stadium. They've put up all these, which some people don't like because me. But like, they put up all these new restaurants and everything all around the stadium. And there's donut shops and there's coffee shops and there's all these different breweries and there's the chains and everybody's selling T-shirts. There was a couple of Dilly shirts that I almost bought, but I didn't. But just walking in there and sitting in our seats, we were down the third baseline. We were like between third and left field, and I was just like, and the bleachers. This was a Friday afternoon at 12:20, or no, it was a 1:20 start, I think. Friday afternoon, packed. Bleachers completely packed. The whole stadium was probably 90% full, and I was just like, they lost. That sucked. But it's probably 90% full. There was so much energy. I had a few beers, but I was just the whole time I was just like. I was so happy. It was so cool to go there. We saw Hamilton. Hamilton was awesome. It lived up to the hype. I just think Hamilton is so cool. You'll understand it when you go see it. To make U.S. history cool, it's like the founding of this nation, to make it cool.
Yeah,
that's what Hamilton did. And they even talk about the Federalist Papers. Like there's a lot of history there. It's in offhand comments and stuff like that. But if you know what you're listening for, it's just so cool. I added it to my Amazon. I haven't ordered it yet, but the Federalist Papers. Like I've been saying forever, ever since I started listening to Colin forever ago, I need to read the Federalist Papers, and now I'm re-energized to do that after seeing Hamilton.
Yeah.
It was so good. But on that trip, anyways, video games. 47 minutes in. On the trip, I decided to take out old reliable my Vita.
Yes.
And I said, you know what? I just started Bloodstained, which we'll get to here in a minute. Hence the title of the episode. Sorry, it's 40 minutes in. But I was like, I've just got this. Like I was telling you, like you started Chasm not that long ago just for the heck of it. Or you loaded your old
loaded
save.
a game. Yeah.
I said, I want to play this from the beginning. The funny thing I will say about this game, they made a big deal. And I remember Patrick Klepek, he blocked me on Twitter. Whiny little.
The procedural...
This thing. Map is everything I remember from the first time I
Nothing
played it.
is different. I did the same thing.
You did? Okay.
When I started a new game on like hard mode or whatever,
and
just
I'm
to try
okay
it,
with that.
It looked exact. Yeah, I don't care. But
like that's what I want. I want to be able to like,
right.
Oh, okay, I remember, and I go down here, and then once I get the slide, I can go under this thing. I can blow that up so I can get to the warp, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Chasm is so much fun. If Bloodstained and Mario Maker 2, spoiler alert here for a couple minutes, weren't so freaking amazing, if I had nothing to play right now, I would power through that again.
Yeah,
it's so
I think
much
by the
fun.
end of the year I'll play through it again. I
so
don't know
good.
When, but
it's funny. Like, so I played Messenger this year on PS4. Last year I rated Chasm one above Messenger. I can't remember if it was 4-3 or 3-2. Because God of War. Oh no, it was 3-4 because Spider-Man was 2, God of War was 1, obviously. But then after I played Messenger, I was like, maybe I was wrong. Chasm, you can't go wrong with either.
Yeah.
One. They're both so good. I had so much fun playing it. But the reason you're all here, let's talk about some Taco Bell sauces.
yes,
Um,
Diablo.
Let's go first. My favorite Taco Bell sauce, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So I didn't actually play Symphony. I hate saying that word because I want to say Sympathy of the Night. Symphony of the Night all the way through until last year. Until I did that, I never got more than 20-30 minutes in because my knife was like, and then once I got the Basilard, it all quicked, and I just freaking loved it. There's a Basilard in this, which was that made me very happy. But you're the Metroidvania guy more than I am. Judging by what you were texting me today, you've now gone way past me when it comes to this game. I will say,
so I beat it at 6.5 hours.
Yeah, I beat
earlier
it about
than I thought.
7. Yeah.
I'm now at 12.5. So between yesterday and today, I've put 6 hours in.
Okay, so I wrote this down. Let me go to my notes. I think I am at, let's see here, carry the 1. I'm 11 hours in. I've got 75% of the map.
That's probably about where I was. I went from, I'd say, 80 to 85% to like 98%.
Are you just using that power
Like
up
that.
to clear all the, or are you just able the? Yeah.
You don't really. There's a couple places where you.
After you got the armor and all that.
Did you? I'm trying to think of the order of things. You went back to the tower.
Yes.
Okay.
To Dragon Tower.
Okay.
Yeah, to get the armor, to go through the.
That
spikes.
kind of. I figured that out. Just.
I got
on a
lucky
whim.
because I was like,
I'm looking at the map. I'm
power
like,
up.
I can't go there, and I
Exactly.
know I still can't go there.
Where
I can't
can I
go
go
there,
high?
and I know I still can't go there. I'm like,
Well,
over by the tower, it just does kind of stop. So in theory, I could do the thing.
and you do the
I'm
thing.
like, well, I don't know where else to go. There's a green room not far from there. It won't take long to check out. And then I got it. I'm like, ugh.
now what?
But then once I actually looked at it, I'm like, I'm like, okay.
So the funny thing was, so I went up there, so I died. I went into the castle, and I was like, let me do my reflector ray, whatever. That's not far enough. Ping, pong, ping, pong, ping. Oh my God, dead. All right, so I'm not supposed to be here yet. But in general, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So this was kickstarted way back in 2015. It was at the time it was the highest or the quickest whatever Kickstarter in the history of video games. Kind of Funny helped launch it. Greg and Colin, back when they were in love, had Iga in their freaking apartment to like do an interview with Colin with a translator to launch this game, and it was so cool. I was hyped for it, even though at that time I had never even really played Symphony of the Night. I'm so happy that this game is finally out. Now, to be fair, Sean, and it seems like you don't even care because you didn't get that far, but your save was one of the ones that was going to have the game-breaking bug.
As far as I know, yeah. And I didn't want to continue to put the time into
Right.
it, only to get screwed over later. I think at the time, I was at the first Zangetsu fight, or I had just beaten
You
it.
had just beaten him,
And
yeah.
that took me a while to beat it. So I was just like, I'm like, I don't want to start over. When I did, A, I flew through it.
So-
B, I beat him on my first try, my second playthrough.
Colin got the bug because he
Yeah.
played it early. He got it about 4.5 hours. He got back to that point in 2 hours. So it
Yeah.
seems like everybody that's at least had the bug gets
Yeah.
through it in like half the time because you know how to play the game and whatever. But what do you think about Bloodstained?
It's everything and more that I wanted it to be. I don't think it's better than Symphony of the Night, but it's
Which
like,
is fair, yeah.
Well, and I didn't really expect
Yeah.
it. I mean, if it was, then holy crap.
And it's Game of the Year.
If
easy.
it was like 80% of Symphony of the Night, I was going to be happy. And it's probably 90%. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, it's better than I had hoped it would be. I didn't expect it to be better than Symphony of the Night, and I don't think it is, but that would have been very tough to pull off. It's definitely a little buggy.
Oh, yeah.
And there's something, you're not there yet, but I'm curious to see your thoughts about something that's going to happen in a little bit.
Well, that's horrible.
No, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just, I don't want to, you'll see. Have you had times where like, usually it's when I just died and I'm like reloading a game that it's like very laggy. Like I'll hit options to like pause it and it
yes.
just like freezes.
What I also see, it seems like it's when I'm
And
in
then
the,
it finally comes up.
when I'm in the village, when you go from the save room, you go up, you go out, and you kill that first Morte or whatever, Bone Morte or whatever it's called. There's sometimes I hit it, it's like,
Yeah,
it
there's
like
a lot
freezes
of
for
like
like 4 or
lag,
5
and every
seconds.
time I'm like,
No, I know.
Oh,
Same
okay.
thing. But the reason I think we're getting that, so if you don't know, the Switch version was completely effed at launch. So I think the reason we're still having that stuff on PS4 is because and good on them, like the Switch graphics suck. The Switch performance sucks. We're both playing it on PS4. Code's not provided us. We both bought it. I think they're pouring all their time into
fixing
making
the Switch.
Switch as
Yeah.
good as it can be. It doesn't have to look as good as PS4, which I don't know how it doesn't, because it's not like it's
not that intensive.
I still feel like the Vita
it's
could have run this
beautiful,
game,
but like, yeah.
but that's the only thing I wish. I wish I could like go to work and take my Vita with me, and because originally there was going to be a Vita version. But anyways, I think the game. everybody that's like, I've heard Altano say it, of course Colin has said it, other people, like they wish, I think even Greg said it, they wish the game was 2D. They understand why you can't do pixel art. It's so expensive. Like you literally, like I can't even imagine. And it's, if you make a 2.5D character, you make the character and then you can like click and drag them to animate them and stuff. When it's pixel art, you draw the character.
You draw every frame.
And then you draw his arm here and his arm here, or her in this case. So I get it, but like, I think Miriam, most of the enemies, the immediate backgrounds, everything, I think they look really good. There's sometimes when I see stuff in the way back that I'm like, this could run like on a Nokia, like playing Snake. Like you see just like random clouds. Like I'm like, this is, there's no definition here. It's like 240p, like something. It's horrible, but I don't care because the game is so. The game is
one
so
thing that
freaking
I'm
good.
Kind of surprised about is I love this game and it's a lot of fun. I am not invested at all in the story. Like I just straight up.
I just want to be
because I
Jeeble
got
and
in
win
the
it.
habit of it when I started my game. I was just option, like
The
skipping
journals?
all the dialogue. 'Cause I'm
Oh, well,
I'm
that
just
too.
trying to get caught up. And then I just never stopped. And now I'm still doing it. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I got to kill this guy. He's kind of being corrupted by this other thing. Like, I get it. I don't really know what the story is at this point. I don't really care. I'm still enjoying it, but I just don't really care about
Do you
the
read
story.
any of the journals that aren't special moves?
Nope.
Me neither.
I
The
read
only-
like the first one.
Yeah,
And I think that's
and then
it.
I was like, well, okay, there's a lot of words. I just want to play the game. The only time I don't skip cutscenes are when
well, not Big Boss, but
was when Big Boss shows
Yeah.
up, and it's so this is not a spoiler at
Miriam.
all. Like David Hayter does a character in the game called Zangetsu, and
he's just
he's just solid Snake. Like he's not doing anything. It's like Miriam, you're a Big Boss. Like he's just that was. I'm just being facetious, but like he's doing Snake's voice, which makes me so happy. So that's like the second the boss. I'm like, I don't care how many times I die. I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to this before I die again.
Just
Okay,
take it all in.
Yeah. What else?
Oh, did you notice? Have you done many of the side quests?
I started them at the beginning and then I completely abandoned them.
Did you notice? I don't know if there's a story to all. I can't imagine it's all of them, but like the girl that's like halfway up in the house that you like avenge my husband,
whatever.
Like
Oh, I've
when
heard
you get far enough into them, there's like avenge
Simon,
Trevor,
and Alucard.
Yeah, there's so
I
far
don't think
I've
there's
seen
an Alucard, but
I've
it's-
seen Trevor, Richter, and Sifa.
Yep.
And there's probably more that like have a
There's probably a Grant
Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably is, but it's so cool.
But no, because I don't know what the hell any of these enemies are called. So I don't do any of the side quests because I'm like, I don't know what to take because I don't know what enemies are in what areas. It's cool that
Well, you
these
just
side quests are
accept them
there.
all, and then
Oh, you don't have to do one at a time?
no, you accept them
Oh,
all.
well then I'm stupid. Okay.
You accept them all, and then anytime you kill one,
You go
that's
back
like
there because you go back
part,
there all the time.
you'll see the counter down at the bottom, like ooh, killed one of.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
you can
now
accept
I know what I'm
them
doing
all,
next.
but-
Okay.
Yeah,
This game is in contention for Game of the Year for me, is what I will say.
I think the last. I mean, according to the map, the last 1.5% of it for me, but who knows how long it'll take to beat. Plus, there's optional
so
stuff.
it gets better
plus-
from where I am?
I don't know that it gets better. It's more of the same, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of like.
OMG.
This needs to like. Not that there's anything. I mean, there's very little negative I can say about the game, but I will say it'll probably have to really sprint to the finish at the end for it to overtake Resident Evil at this point.
Resident Evil is still my
It's-
Game of the Year right
it's-
now, yeah.
It's very much up there. It's very much in contention. I don't know that it's number one. And I don't think after I've spent time away from the game that all of a sudden it will be number one. Like if it was going to be number one.
Remind me at 8 a.m. to do Blazing Chrome codes. Blazing Chrome crew codes. They replied to me about
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
If anything, I figured it would be number one now. And then after I've spent some time, I'd be like, is it really number one? And the fact that it's not number one right now in my head
Yeah.
it's probably not going to get there
still
unless
Link's Awakening,
unless
too.
the very end is just like mind blowing. Then maybe, but it's certainly not far off. But I'm totally happy with it. It's not way better than I thought it'd be, but it exceeded my already high hopes for it.
Yep.
And it's kind of making me want to just go back and play Symphony of the Night again at this point. Except I got to hook up my PS3.
No, but you can just
or
get the
buy
Castlevania. The not the Castlevania collection, but
the Rondo.
Yeah,
That thing.
Are they like
What does
right
Rondo
there?
mean?
Of blood. Of
But is
blood
it a
of
word?
blood. I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up. One of the things I will say, and this is not a critique as much as it's just a preference of mine. First off, I heard a lot of people saying that this felt floaty. Did you, now that you've played it a lot more?
Rondo, a musical form with a recurring leading theme, often found in the final movement of a sonata or concerto. That sounds very Castlevania-y.
It does. Do you
Symphony Rondo?
Of the-
I get it.
ritual, which also means music? No. All these complaints I've heard about it feeling floaty. I don't think it, I think it feels perfect.
I don't think it feels.
Now, I haven't played any of the GBA Castlevania games. I've literally not played them at all.
Yeah.
Which I could play them easily if I wanted to, but I think they're going to do another Castlevania collection in 6-7 months, something like that, and it'll be Symphony and all the GBA games. Is what I assume. I think the game controls great. Like I'm getting
it
reminds me like you jump and before you land you attack you
and then
land
attack again.
and then you can like do a backdash, which I have not been able to get used to. I forget I can backdash.
I never use it.
Yeah. But you
I
can backdash
just
and
realized
attack.
that you can, not that it does much, but your slide is an attack.
I do 1 damage with it because
I
I'm not
never
going to put
even
on
realized-
kung fu shoes or
Well,
whatever is my.
It does about 10 or so. Now that I finally figured out I can do it, it's been doing about 10 or so to like the little toads, like little things like that. Where like if I would have, it's perfect for those things because sometimes even your duck attack goes over them unless you do like
unless you can do unless you got a weapon that'll go.
But yeah, now that I realize you can slide, I'm like, I wish I knew this before. But
my only critique, and this again, what I started to say it earlier and I never got there. The amount of shards in this game is stressing me out.
I basically, just because I think it's the first one you get, the cerulean splash or whatever, I'm like, I'm going with it.
See,
That's going to be my thing, and I'm just going to pump all my stuff into that. And then I started upgrading the pictures because it's a good kind of
Because you get more
defense and
pictures
offense
and,
thing.
yeah.
That's what I've
So
pumped
wait, did you
all of
use that
my-
against the second boss fight? Did you have that equipped like all the time?
I pretty much use it,
all the
constantly.
time. Okay. The other thing I was gonna, so I did the same thing except I did it with a hammer knuckle.
Knuckle.
Because it's like, bam! It's kind of like the sword that you throw. It hits them this way and back this way.
Yeah.
But it uses a lot of MP. What did your HP get up to? I'm like at 8.
I just passed 1,000.
Okay. I saw Colin did a little Let's Play just like, hey, I'm late in the game. Here's what it looks like. He's like at 1,400. I'm like, I don't have the patience to grind.
Now, I did get...
Are you going to get the platinum? That's what I wanted to ask.
I haven't looked at the trophies, but probably not.
You have to
I saw
max everything
Colin's
out.
tweet that like
100%
like, oh,
map, blah, blah, blah.
I'll get that.
Okay.
But I'm guessing if it's like
Apparently the last 0.1%, I saw Jeremy Johns was Instagram about it. Like, help, where do I go? I don't know where to go. And
if
Colin,
it's like 100% of the map, if it's like beat the game,
yes,
100% of the map, beat
Optional
all the side
bosses,
quests,
yeah.
beat all the optional bosses, then maybe.
You didn't
But
beat
if
the
it's
Carpenter, you said?
beat it on like expert without
no.
dying in under 4 hours,
there's no speed run. There's no difficulty.
Okay. Then I might. I haven't looked at the trophies, but I would. Maybe.
I've glanced at them, but it was before the game came out, so I've already forgotten it. So
Yeah.
I don't want now that I'm like at this point in the game, I don't want anything spoiled for me. Although I assume who is going to be a bad guy, girl, whatever you want to say. I just assume that's happening. At this point, it wouldn't even be a spoiler, but I just assume it's happening. I'm not looking at your face because you're very far. I love that you also get the spoiler alert. You get the familiars, which shouldn't surprise me, but like,
What I think is weird is that you have one. What is yours?
Oh, I've maxed out Iron Knight. Is every time I can
Silver
upgrade
Knight?
him or whatever, yeah.
Okay, that's the one I've gotten
Because he blocks the attacks and he goes like it's rare if you're fighting a boss where he actually lines up right to actually hit them, but when he does, it's like 27.
Yeah.
But I had the fairy, and then I have the dull hammer head, the Medusa head
Medusa
things.
head, yeah.
Did you ever get a sword?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get a sword?
Familiar?
Yeah.
No.
No.
You did?
No.
Oh, okay.
I want to, but I'm like, well, now my Silver Knights, I've pumped everything into them that I can, so it's like, whatever. But
yeah.
this game is easily like, this is like an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10 for me.
I would say it's a solid 9. Yeah.
I would probably still put Symphony, like you said. Symphony is better than this. After I finally beat Symphony, I'm like, okay, now I see, like, Symphony and Super Metroid are like 1A when it comes to Metroidvanias for me.
Yeah.
Like, they're both, I get, once I finally beat Symphony, I get it. This is right up there. But like Colin was saying, it's almost a little too on the nose, like it's a little too raff, you know? But I love this game. It's definitely going to be a contender, but for me, right now, my top 3 this year are pretty clear. Stay tuned for a minute from now.
Yeah.
It's Resident Evil 2. I will not call it Resi 2. Resident Evil 2. And then Bloodstained. That would be awesome. Bloodstained and Mario Maker 2 are vying for number 2 right now.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you.
Anything else you want to add on Bloodstained?
I don't think. I thought there was something else I was going to say. I think it's all about stuff you're not to yet. I'm
Can
curious.
you be vague about anything?
The next like big thing you have to do.
Is it clear after I beat this boss?
I will say it's.
Does this boss give me a power?
No.
Okay.
But the next thing you have to do to progress the game, I will say it will be, and I'm not going to say why, but it will be more obvious to you as it was to me. I think it'll be more obvious to you and me and probably others than it should have been. I'll say that. And remember this when we talk about this later in the week when you get there, or maybe tomorrow. I mean, it's not far off from where you are, but
does Zangetsu say there's a Metal Gear in the tower?
You'll see. I'm curious to get your thoughts on the matter.
All right. Next up, let's talk Mario Maker 2. Hot damn, I freaking love this game. I will say, as you probably saw from all your texts when you woke up, I did finally beat it last night. So I thought I had beaten story mode. This game is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
This game, it's better than Mario Maker 1. I will say that right now. It did sell double the physical sales in week 1 that Mario Maker, the original, did. This is going to have a much longer life than Mario Maker 1 did just because the Switch is exorbitantly more popular than the Wii U.
I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag because I don't even know if I'm going to have you play this level.
Oh, God.
And future
This is why we're doing the podcast before we record our Mario Maker Let's Play.
I had this
Epiphany?
Nico! I had big plans. I had high hopes for, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be my
Magnum opus.
Magnum opus. That's what I was going to say. For a level. I was going to make it in Super Mario 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it to
where...
where...
Oh my God, you're going to say what I was going to say.
You get a power-up, and it turns you into Link.
Oh, he's not in this.
They don't have all those characters. You're either Mario, Luigi, Toad, Toadette. They don't have all the 8-bit characters that the first one had, where you can be Link and Samus and
I haven't even
Kirby.
looked up any amiibo stuff.
You can't do any of that. As of right now, that's not in this.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, I'll just have the same level, but you'll be Mario, but it's going to be Zelda themed. But then in order to do something that I wanted to do, I think I had to change it to Mario 3. I don't even know if I'm going to have you play the level. It didn't turn out very good. But that was the one that I told you, I'm working on this. This is going to be my masterpiece.
Well,
and then
it
fell apart. Once I found out you couldn't be Link, it was all downhill from there. But it's so much fun. I love this game.
This game, so the one thing that we both have beaten story mode. it's more than 100 level. The whole thing with the whole 100 level thing was false advertising.
Well, I was trying to think. I couldn't tell you that it's not 100 levels.
It's over. Because there's 90.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely over.
There's 1 through 90, and then you've got all
so I wonder
the
if
side
maybe
characters.
was it advertised as like 100 plus?
I always saw
because
the
it's not
number
even 100 base levels and
No,
then all
it's
the
90,
extra ones.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it must have, it's 100 plus.
So you've got the overworld. You're building Peach's castle. The one thing that I didn't know how I thought about it at first, but the more I went into this game in story mode, they've never made Mario levels like this in any actual Mario game.
Nintendo is making
Mario Maker levels.
Yes, not just Mario levels.
Like,
and I love it.
They're all it's like Mario meets Zelda. Like to your point, these are like Zelda levels, especially that one when I finally last night beat the stupid stone level number 77, give or take. I don't know what it is. Once I finally figured that out, I was like, oh, I can throw this here, and I can bink and then do this and jump here. It's so when you figure it out, like that level was driving me nuts that I left it alone for like 3 or 4 days. I was like, I'm not going to play this level. I'm done. And it was the last one I had. It was the last job. I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And then I found out Mr. Eraser's friend, Patrick Squarepants, whatever his name was. Actually,
Part Trick. His
Really?
name's Part Trick.
It's not Patrick?
No, it's a play on Pat. His name is Part Trick because like parts, you have different parts.
Well, he does have square pants. Anyways, when you figure it out,
Well, he does have square pants.
like Patrick does.
No,
I know. That's why it's stupid. Like,
are they just swimming in the dark?
yeah. So there was
swimming in the dark.
I'm glad to know that you had to farm coins also, but I had to do it twice. I thought I was only going to have to do it once, and he was like, "Oh, I guess I didn't. I guess I forgot the hammer." I was like,
Yeah, I was one thing short. I probably needed maybe close to 900. I probably 800 something coins.
so what I farmed was level 3. It's called
I was
Hello 3D
trying
World.
to find one that gave a lot of coins. I don't
the
remember which
best.
one I ended up
It's
doing,
super
but-
easy. You can get 108, 109 coins if you
geez.
just
See, the one
fly
I
through
did,
it.
I was getting 60 or 70 per level, and it took about 30 to 40 seconds every playthrough.
Yeah.
So,
but what I will say, holy crap, that last level. I'm glad. If you didn't tell me there was something at the end, I would have been like, I'm just done.
yeah.
You know, that was awesome. It was infuriating. Jess was like, it's Mario. Let me try. She didn't do that. And she was like, ba-dum-bum. Oh my God, there's 3 Goombas. And then when you jump on those Goombas, it's like the cat.
I hate that stupid cat.
Because you can't see what's happening.
No, it blocks the whole screen. It drives me crazy.
I got to the end, and then I kicked the big... No spoilers here. I kicked the big turtle at first, and I was like, well, crap. Now there's just... I'm just going to jump off the cliff, because you can't make the jump without having the first thing there.
Yeah.
But it was so worth it. The only thing that frustrates me is the next level I was going to make was going to be a version of that. And now I'm like, well... And I was going to call it that, too. I was going to call it...
Yeah.
You know...
I came across when I was doing I think I was on easy mode or maybe normal, but I was doing one of the endless challenges. And
I haven't done those yet.
Somebody did that. They like
no edits?
perfect. Like
okay.
they made it.
Okay.
And I was looking for secret, like they nailed it.
Well,
It was
yeah, when
perfect.
you look for the secrets in this one, it's like, oh, here's a hammer brother. Like, what? This is evil.
Yeah, they trolled you.
But I will say, depending on how this recording session of Mario Maker goes after this, I've got an idea still for my next level. But this is Resident Evil 2, Bloodstained, and Mario Maker 2. Like, they're right there right now. Like, I don't know if I should count Cuphead, and we'll get to that in a minute. But this game, I feel like this game is going to I finally started just going, like, once I beat story mode, I was like, what the hell? Let me go to, like, popular courses and, like, tens of thousands of plays. I'm like, okay, just let me do that, whatever. And they weren't that bad. I did this one where it's like, oh, just a simple jump. And you jump and you cannot make, like, you see that there's a key you need to get. You jump, you can't make the jump, so you hit the thing and you go. Boom, it does that scary noise. You float down all the way through the middle.
Oh,
all these swamps. I was just like, I'm too tired. I don't have the energy to try this. But I was like, I appreciate what you're doing. Obviously, you can't make that jump. You have to go from the bottom, hit the on-off switches, and go all the way up. I appreciate levels like that, though, where it's not just like you're trying to be evil.
Yes.
I also, what this game has taught me that I remember back when Mario Maker 1 came out 4 years ago, video game design is really difficult.
It seems like it should be easy, but
in my head, I'm like, I can make a Mario level, and then I'm like, here's some land, and here's a door. Like, I don't. It's so like you have to know what you're doing before you do it.
yes,
and so I'm so interested to record.
it's tough to make a level that plays good and just looks good. It looks like a level, and not just a bunch of Mario
traps and
vomit,
stuff,
just all over it.
Which is what Bernardo thinks we made. Love you, Bernardo. I can't wait to play your.
It's
God
going to be
almighty.
fun.
I've only made 2.
I made like 5 or 6.
I know, but you can only pick 2 because I've only made 2, and depending on how long they take,
I know. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I know one that I'm going to have you play.
Also, I will say in story mode, F Luigi, like that's your boy.
Oh.
I'm so sick of him. Is there not a way to turn that off? I mean, now that I've beaten it, I don't
I'm
care.
I'm getting so angry already, and then
he's
he
like,
popped up. Hey, you want me to help?
Hey, bro. I'm like, I'm going to throw the controller through this friggin' TV because you died twice.
I'm
He's like,
glad to hear you struggled on the same level I did with the stupid, the wall jump level with the saws.
that was the hardest. I think that was the hardest level in the whole game.
Yeah.
But I will say, unlike Bernardo, I never used a Luigi tip, so I
never
don't even
did.
know what it does
On that level. So what it does, if you say yes or
Is it
whatever,
like a ghost or something?
It's almost like Mario Maker Builder, to where you can like drop yourself a power up, give you like a mushroom or a star. Well, I don't
So
know
it's
about this.
complete-
Actually,
so
a
it's-
star.
It's game breaking.
Yeah, it's no offense, Bernardo. It's for
Babies.
if Casey was playing it, basically.
Oh, the other level that I was surprised it only took me 2 or 3 tries was one of those levels where you can't touch the ground after you leave it.
Yeah,
It was towards the end. It was where you float. It's a Super Mario World.
3 or
No, it was World because
no,
you
it
have
is
the cake.
World, so you can just hold it. Yeah,
and then you go up
That
through
one-
the donuts and all that.
that one took me a long. I was playing that late one night, and I was getting sleepy.
That's the problem.
And I think I ended up quitting and just going to bed.
Yeah.
And then the next day,
Well,
when
that's what I did with that stone level. And when
Yeah.
I went back to it, I was like, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem with the stone level for me was that I thought I had to bring the stone in and bring it out. No, it respawns.
Oh,
Once I
yeah.
realized that, I was like, okay, I can get through this.
All right.
But yeah, F Luigi. The last level was amazing. What do you think about creating levels in this? Because how much did you... Because obviously you didn't have a Wii U. So you would have only done Mario Maker at my house.
Yeah.
What do you think about the creating? I've only... The 2 levels that I created was all handheld.
As far as like the mechanics, it's perfect. I was worried about it.
Some people are complaining like, oh my God, I need a stylus. I'm like...
There are times where I'm trying to like draw a line and I accidentally do this.
But then you
and
just delete it. Like,
erase
just shut up and move on.
Yes. It's fine. I have zero problem with it.
I'm so scared of what you made me. Because I think my levels
No,
are
but
not
I
that
made
good.
it with you in mind. Sorry. Like,
Why? Why is that funny?
I made it.
Oh, you made it for stupid... For
I
Timmy.
made it so that I think you could be. It's challenging, but like, there are some levels I made that I think are pretty difficult that I probably won't have you play. But I made it with you. One of my levels is literally called For Kevin.
I downloaded that one.
And like,
I haven't tried any of them yet.
It's gotten like 60, 70 plays and like a handful of likes, and people are commenting on it like, wow, you must not like Kevin.
Oh, great.
So I thought that was pretty funny, but
The one thing I will say...
this is one of the most looked forward to Let's
Plays
I
of
think
all
we've
time,
had.
yeah. So let's wrap up this podcast. The one thing I will say is when you get stuck in one of my 2, when you get to the end, I'll just give you a hint now. And I told it to Solar too because he was like, oh, I hate you, Kevin. Like, there's a secret that makes the end of the level very easy.
Okay.
If you'd like to share any secrets for me, I would appreciate that. You want to get to the news of the week, Sean?
Oh, we haven't yet?
Nope. Let's just blast process through this. So we got some PS5 news again. Sony has patented, this comes from IGN, a new technology that will help remove loading screens from games that use it. The patent, titled, quote, System and Method for Dynamically Loading Game Software for Smooth Game Space Play.
Oh, Samus,
describes a technology that loads in data in advance in order to prevent load screens. The patent explains that the system can monitor the player's character and use this information to load in new areas in preparation as the player approaches. So basically, it's like, instead of like in God of War, if you're about to go in a new area, instead of Kratos like, hey boy, let's shimmy through this rock, where obviously it's loading. Right. You just get close to it, but it's a lot. Like I remember it was so after Horizon Zero Dawn came out, Guerrilla put out this video of how like. It was like this tech demo of how Aloy's, like, her vision cone. Like, think of Metal Gear Solid 1. That. Yeah, like how it loads in based on where, like, as you move.
Outside of what she's looking
at.
Unloads
yeah. Exactly. It's so cool. So anyway, so they're doing that. They're trying to get rid of load times for the PS5. Also, there was also a PS5 Wall Street Journal report that said that the PS5, well, the next generation PlayStation is going to appeal to, quote, hardcore gamers. They're going to focus on AAA games. They will still have indies, but their focus is on bettering and making better, which is bettering their relationships with AAA publishers.
I got to say, I don't like that, Raymond.
That
kind of scares me.
I want Sony's AAA
because
stuff.
When I hear that, I
Call
think Call of Duty. I think just a bunch of first-person shooters.
Well, that's what PS4 has been too. What I want Sony to focus on is their in-house stuff, which is better than anybody in the industry, period. Yeah. Like Sony Santa Monica, Guerrilla, like everything. Like they do their internal games better than anybody does, period. But I don't need like Destiny 3 and 4 and 5 and Call of Duty 7 Modern Warfare. And like, I don't need all that.
Yeah.
But they also said, so people, they think that people, this all comes from the Sony new CEO. I forget his name. He said people buy consoles to, quote, play high-quality games available only on that platform. I agree. Again, like, give me Uncharted 5, God of War 2, Spider-Man 2, Horizon 2. Like, I get that. But, like, I want the AAA quality from the first-party studios. I don't want it from Activision and EA and just Madden and FIFA and whatever. Also, they did say, and I kind of agree with them here on both of these, as much as I love my Switch, Sony does not consider Nintendo a competitor because they're appealing to, quote, younger audiences. They also don't see Stadia being a threat yet. Anything you want to add on Sony's news?
Nah, I mean, I'm going to get a PS5 on launch day. There's pretty much nothing at this point I could hear or read about it that's going to change that. But I don't like that whole hardcore gamer. We're going to focus on AAA game because, as I just said earlier, like half of my favorite games probably over the last 18 to 24 months have been indie games. Like, I think they'd be stupid to get away from that.
What a lot of people
that's one thing where if they start to slack on that, that's where Switch. That's when Switch will be a competitor.
Yeah. What I think it'll be. Like they were saying on Podcast Beyond this week or last week, actually, I just listened to it today. But they were saying that what they think is. The only people that care about the PS5 right now are us. It's the hardcore gamers. So they want to appeal to us and all this other stuff. Like a year from now, when PS5 is about to launch in November 11/20/2020, just mark it down.
The PlayStation.
No, it'll be the PS5. I'm done. I'm off that road. They might call it that. No. Xbox One X. I think when they get closer to launch, they're not going to not have indie games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're still going to have people on there. But Nintendo has done a great job of doing what Sony was doing at the beginning of this generation in cultivating these indies and everything.
Right.
I just worry Sony is so focused on graphical fidelity and load times and all this other stuff that they're going to lose track of the messengers and the chasms and all that other stuff.
Yep. That's what I'm worried about.
May NPD results came out a little bit late, but I just want to touch on this because I just love
2
this
months
stuff,
ago.
even though it was like a month ago. Mortal Kombat 11 was the number 1 selling game for May. It was also the number 1 selling game for April.
No.
Days Gone is number 2. That shocks me. I
That
still
is
do
shocking.
not care at all about that game. I just don't care. Number 3, way more shocking. Name it.
From May?
Yeah.
Grand Theft
No.
I have no idea.
Total War 3 Kingdoms.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. Rage 2 is number 4. Sean, what was number 5?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes. Holy crap. Number 6 was Smash Ultimate. Number 7 was Red Dead 2. I will say around this time was when Red Dead 2, I started seeing it get knocked down to like $40 or $30. Nobody cares about that game. That game sucks. Aw, Logan just said this is good content. Logan, what'd you comment on? Aw. I miss Logan, come back.
Logan's
hold on.
the dude.
What do you comment on? Lost Levels, my boy. Number 8 was MLB 19 The Show. Number 9, Minecraft. Number 10, NBA 2K19. The one thing I want to talk about here, Minecraft, you don't subscribe to a whole bunch of gaming people like I do on YouTube, right?
Mm-mm.
In the last 3 weeks, PewDiePie, Vanoss, Dahi, like all these people are all of a sudden playing Minecraft again. So clearly the YouTube algorithm said Minecraft is important now. Stay tuned for our Let's Play. No. But like something has happened with Minecraft where YouTube has said this is important now. If you want to be the cynic like I am and the conspiracy theorist and all that other stuff, obviously Microsoft has paid off Google. Period. This game has been out for how many years? 9 years, I think, at this point. All of a sudden, everybody's playing Minecraft on YouTube and Twitch. And It's back in the top 10 for the first time. And when was the last time we said Minecraft when we were talking about NPD results? Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You will not see, well, unless it's my kids, you won't see us do a Let's Play Minecraft here because we'd be like,
Now,
Jim
Minecraft
Halpert-
Dungeons.
huh?
Minecraft Dungeons.
Are you on board? It looks really
I'm not
good.
gonna get it, but it
Well,
looks
if I
cool.
get it, can we like do
Oh, I
co-op?
would play it. I just don't see it being something I'll buy. But
I'll give us a code.
it looks fun.
And now for the wrap up. That was quick. I'm excited for this. Dr. Mario World is out July 10th. Depending on when you're watching this, it's either out today or in the past. You will have 169 puzzles across 5 different worlds. You can play as Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, and Luigi, and each of them have a different special ability. Microtransactions will let you retry levels without waiting. Normally, if you like die 3 times in one level, you have to wait 30 minutes before you can try it again. This is what Nintendo should be doing. When I see that, so it's like Dr. Mario, except it's like reverse. Like you go, like the pills go up, and they stay there. the pill.
Everybody pills go up.
And they stay, the pills go up, and it's more like you click and drag them to the viruses. Viri.
Yeah.
Viri. To try to do the thing. I already pre-purchased it. I pre-purchased it.
I'll allow it.
Final Fantasy VII Remake will have the cross-dressing scene, but it will be slightly changed.
Do you know what that means?
No. It's a big deal, but it's like... So I know to get the platinum in the PS4 version of the PC port, you had to do the cross-dressing scene a certain way or whatever. I know it's like a big deal. I don't get it, but all they've said that it will be in the game, but that it might be changed.
Okay.
So I don't... Did you do it to go on a date with who's it, what's it?
I think you're combining 2 different things.
Okay.
There's a cross-dressing scene. I mean, I don't want to give it away, but
I'm fine. I'll forget
Cloud has to basically
Right.
cross-dress in order to...
Like Link in the Gerudo Desert.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a little more risque than that.
Okay.
Depending on how they... And that's I don't think it's the cross-dressing
That's right.
part. I think it's the...
That's what some people are thinking will be changed.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's fine. That's honestly one of my least favorite parts of the game. Like every time I play through the game and I'm getting close to that part, I'm like,
Can you skip it?
God, no, it's
Okay.
It's not terrible, but it's one of those. It's that.
Is it like a quest kind of thing? Like
It's-
bigger on sword?
But it's mandatory. Like it's
Okay.
storyline. But it's not that bad. But every time I get there, every time I'm getting close to that part, it's always like, oh God, I forgot about this part.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that like you just want to be. I don't know. You just want to play the game. You want to experience a good story and have fun playing the game.
Right.
And you're doing that, and then it's like, go over here and do this stuff. This isn't fun. This is just like plodding along, and it's just, this is not what I'm playing this game for. And then you finish it, and then you're like back to the regular game. It's the equivalent of, I mean, not that it's not a
Side quest?
what do you call it? When you're having
Escort.
escort. It's not an escort mission at all, but it's the equivalent.
The same
of that,
kind
where
of
like you
annoyance.
get to that part and everything's like a screeching halt, and you're just like, oh God, this part, and then it's done and you move on.
Okay.
Whatever.
Breath of the Wild 2 is happening because the team at Nintendo had too many ideas for future DLC plans. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do we both agree now that after I've gone back and watched that a few times, that's Ganondorf, right?
I feel like it has to be,
But that's awesome. Like, revive Ganondorf.
it would be cool to just have Ganondorf.
Yeah.
Don't have him turn into Ganon. Just
No,
leave
that's what
him
I'm saying.
Ganondorf.
Right.
Yeah.
I want a sword fight with
Yes.
Ganondorf at the end of this
and
game.
I don't want to. Ganon's great, but
Ganondorf
make
is,
Ganondorf that cool to where we don't need a Ganon fight.
Yes.
That's what I want.
which Twilight Princess could have. You didn't need to have Beast Gammon.
And that's kind of
where you're
how,
like a wolf and you're and then I'm bite his belly. Like,
I mean, that's
Twilight
honestly,
Princess-
for all its faults, that's kind of sort of how Skyward Sword was.
Really?
There's no like you fight
Wait, does
Demise at the
Yeah.
end, and he's big compared to you,
But does
but
he
it's
have a
more or less
beast
a
version?
sword fight. There's
Okay.
there's no Ganon equivalent. Like it's
it's a one-on-one fight.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
yeah.
One of the things that I predicted was actually true. So we've heard all along that Xbox Scarlet, Project Scarlet, whatever it's going to be called, there was going to be a cloud gaming option. There was going to be a like
Tifa.
there was going to be a Barrett option. It was going to be like a regular console and then a
Yes.
cheaper cloud-based console. Well, reports came out this last couple weeks, however long it's been since we podcasted, that's dead. They're doing one Project Scarlet, and is their Xbox,
As they should.
Xbox One X2, which is what I assume would happen. They didn't say anything about streaming other than xCloud. I still don't get the whole use your console as your server. It's remote play. That way.
Right. Yeah.
So it's dead. We think this week, and by the time you're watching this or listening to this, it might be old news at this point. The rumors are saying that Rockstar is going to release details on the GTA Online Casino update this week. You can finally go into the casino. It's going to be it's going to be the biggest update for GTA Online in a long time. Also, just so you know, if you go to your Rockstar account, I don't know what it is. You go to twitter.com/Rockstar Games. Go there. You can link up your thing. You can get a free $1.25 million in GTA Online money.
One-time thing, or like you need to log in like every weekend.
You just you link all this other stuff. Right. You log in. Berserker. You link all the stuff, and then you go. I just need to plug in the disc, go online, and then wait 2 days to get my money just because. But yeah, so you log on to online. Within 2 days, you get your 1.250
gigawatts.
And you go back to 1985. On my birthday, I think it was, which is weird. I think it was November 5th.
I think it's November 8th.
Close enough.
I have no idea.
Close enough.
Close enough. I'm going to look it up.
Cuphead, the delicious last course, was delayed to 2020. Now, I was going back and forth with Nick on this on Twitter. I don't want people ruining their lives over video games. My issue with this delay is not that it's being delayed. It's why in the blue hell did you feel the need to announce this DLC at E3 2018 and now it's not coming out till 2020? This sucks.
Yeah.
Like if this would have been the first mention of Cuphead DLC, we'd all be stoked. But the fact that you frickin' dedicated an entire segment at E3 2019 to Cuphead DLC, only for a year later to mess up my prediction and to not even have it coming out until the next year is stupid. I'm so sick of the way that these companies just, shareholders, whatever, why do you feel the need to announce stuff a light year or two before it's even ready? What the hell? Like, you and I both finally played Cuphead this year. We love it. We want to play more. You got to wait till next year. Yeah. And if we hadn't even heard that DLC was coming, we would just been like, Cuphead was awesome. Man, that was so much fun. I'm glad I finally played it. Oh,
wait, there's more?
Exactly. But no, you announced it a year ago. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
PS Plus for July. This is some drama. The games for July are Detroit Become Human Digital Deluxe Edition, which also comes with Heavy Rain, which is cool, and Horizon Chase Turbo, which is like a New Age Outrun or Cruis'n USA.
The New Age Outruns. Nice.
But the drama comes in because Pez, the candy, 2019 was pulled at the last second. So originally Sony announced that Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 and Horizon Chase Dawn were going to be the free games for July.
Yes.
Literally the day that the games go live, they're like, duh, we made a change. Detroit Become Human. I'm happy about that. Most people are happy because, like I was tweeting Bernardo, I'm like, this sucks. Anybody that gives a crap
already has it.
Yes, like, be like, Madden 2019 is free. Okay, like if I cared about Madden, I've already bought Madden. All the rosters are out of date. Like, who cares? The drama comes in, though, because Konami did release a very short statement where they said, essentially, I don't have it written down here, but they said, this was not our decision to pull PES 2019 from PS Plus. So Sony did it because basically they heard, it's like the Sonic movie. Sonic looks like crap. PS Plus is crap. We'll fix it.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I've already added it to my library. I don't know when I'll play it, but I do want to at least try Detroit Become Human.
I definitely want to. I don't think I'll ever beat it unless I play it and I just get hooked instantly, but it's something I want to try out, but I can't imagine I'll ever. I just don't have the time to play through it all, but yeah, definitely an upgrade.
Games for Gold for July were also announced. X-Bone gets Inside. Okay. And Big Crown Showdown.
Big Crown.
Xbox 360. Wonders. Xbox 360 gets backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Symphony of the Night.
Interesting.
Are you trying to stick it to Iga? Be like, oh, play this free game instead of his new game and Meet the Robinsons. So basically, this month comes down
the
to
Disney game.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes.
Oh wait, is that Disney or is that like Pixar?
Well, it's whatever.
Whatever.
I mean, Pixar's Disney.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So we've got Detroit and Horizon Chase Dawn versus basically Inside and Symphony of the Night. I still think Xbox wins. Inside is a game I really want to play. I played Limbo. I didn't beat it.
It's tough because Symphony of the Night is like an all-time
God
game.
tier, yes.
But at the same time, like, who doesn't already have this game? Like your PES Soccer. Is there anybody that wants to play this game 15? I don't know when that game came out.
22 years ago. You're old.
Holy crap.
It was 97.
Who has not played this game yet that's really like, oh, I've been meaning to give this a try.
If I could play it for free on my PS4, I'd be, okay, I'm going to play it one more time. Again, I'm a cynic and a conspiracy theorist with a lot of things. I fully believe that Konami was like,
probably.
There you go, Iga. We'll let everybody play the better game for free.
Yeah. Just like they would do to Hideo.
I don't
Hideo and Iga need to team up.
Like a side
Metal Gear Metroidvania.
Shadow Complex with Metal Gear
I guess
characters.
It's been done.
It's already been done with Nolan North, and he's awesome. Sean, did you know that we're not going to do a Did You Know on this podcast because we've gone long enough? I don't want to play some Mario Maker.
Let's do it.
That's it for episode 141. Thank you all so much for being here. If you like that, make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that other stuff. Go to nerd901.com. Check out all the nerdy things that are going on in Memphis and around the globe. Ernie, my dude, the Blurred Without Fear is over 30,000 subs. He's getting more active on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/Blurred Without Fear. Or it might be the Blurred Without Fear. I forget. All I know is he was streaming Bloodborne the other day, and he called Bloodborne. I was like, "This is the
awesome.
best thing I've ever seen." And just watch it. I was like, I can't watch because like all the kids are awake and Jess is gone. But I was like, I love Ernie. He's awesome, and he's over 30,000 subs. Let's keep sending more his way because we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot of help for him. I'm sure.
You're welcome, Ernie.
Ernie, send him our way. Obviously, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Kevin White. He's at.
Did you hurt yourself?
I went back to the dermatologist. He's at Real Sean White. Together, we're at 2player_co-op. We have Twitch. No point. YouTube.com/2player-co-op. Like I said, make sure you like and subscribe. If you like audio services, and I know Sean does.
Did you notice that? I don't know if it's every week.
What if I told you?
But every time I get a notification,
It's 3
Facebook
views.
is telling us we have 3 new views.
I'm like, are the same 3 people going? Like, do they not know how YouTube?
Literally every time it's 3 new views. Every single time.
It's Mom and Sue. Hey, well, if you like audio services, and I know Sean does,
I love audio.
you can go to Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and other audio services around the multiverse. We have a Facebook page.
We get 3 new views a week.
Well, let's get to
You
4
could be
views
4.
a week. Let's get to 4 views a week.
Somebody go
to
check it out so it says 4 next
Facebook.com/2player-co-op gaming. I miss this. I miss this a lot. Not that he just did, but I miss podcasting. It's been a while. This was fun. Come on back next week. We'll have 1 or 2 Mario Makers. I don't know what we're doing. I'm scared to death, so come back.
I can't wait.
Are we going to go back to Lost World? Lost Levels?
We probably should.
We shouldn't. All right.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know if
Come on
should
back.
is the right word.
We're probably going to have a whole... what I'm getting at is we're probably going to have a whole lot of Mario Maker content over the next few weeks.
Yes.
By the way, if you're still listening or watching, if you have any levels you want us to play, hashtag James Solar, send them our way. We'll load them up. We'll see what the insanity ensues. I finally went back and watched our second Lost Levels today. Oh, my God. I thought we beat... my memory was that we beat that level. We did not.
We did not.
Cut to Ron Howard. All right. That's it for this week. Come on back next week for episode 142. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.